Hello guys, what's up there? Welcome to our channel, Football Fantasy. And after like 2-3 weeks हम ये show कर रहे हैं, but yes, very interesting updates on a lot of stuff, a lot of transfer rumors coming in, and it's always fun to talk about these transfer gossips and the rumors. But yes, uh, since the last week or so, all the clubs have been busy. In fact, a lot of clubs have been making the move since the month of May. But yes, here we are at the beginning of the transfer window. And Prashant, before I dig into this more, let me ask you, how are you, my friend? After like 2 weeks we are speaking.
Yeah, I've been good. A little bored because of the monsoon. Like I'm enjoying the monsoon, but then you know the thing with monsoon, right?
Mhm.
Hello. Yeah. Like
Correct.
after
Yeah, yeah,
some time, you
absolutely.
just can't go outside. So just getting used to that. Staying inside, and luckily I do
Mhm.
go to office a little bit, so I get out a little. But yeah, that's about it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm quite all right. What about you?
Yeah, going well, and office, work, home, and getting some time to watch the football stuff. I missed the friendly game between United and Arsenal, but I do keep in touch on Twitter and have a look at the rumors and the player that we're signing. Now, before I jump into today's topics, how much would you rate our two signings? How good do you think are Mason Mount and Andre Onana?
Well, I think I would say Andre Onana is obviously the better signing. Like that is definitely a
Hmm,
proper Ten Hag signing. And as we
correct.
did discuss on our previous show, I think Mount is a
Hmm,
good signing. And if it is true that it was a Ten Hag signing, it was Ten Hag who wanted him, then I would still say that. Uh, oh, sorry, are you there? Yeah,
Your
I'm
window,
sorry.
your video has gone off. Yeah,
Okay, you can still hear me. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's just a technical issue,
I can hear you.
but
Your
yeah,
video is off. Yeah.
yeah. So the point being that Mount hopefully also turns out to be a good signing, but that will need some time. But Onana is
Mhm.
something you don't even need convincing for, right? Like Onana is like just he is just so good. So yeah, that would be my thought. Let me just rejoin so that hopefully you'll be able to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
me again.
absolutely.
Okay, just a second.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Prashant here trying to reconnect, join again. Having some network issues, I believe. Yeah. So meanwhile, Prashant joins. Yes, we've been hearing some big news in the transfer window. Kylian Mbappe has been offered to Saudi Arabia club Al Hilal for 300 million euros, and that is just a 1-year contract. So, it's a win-win situation for everyone. But Kylian Mbappe gets the money, PSG get the money, and after a year, you can go to Real Madrid for free. So, you know, Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal will get all the marketing, sponsorship, viewership, everything. I mean, Mbappe has now become a brand in himself. So, not sure how well the deal material because ambitious player like Kylian Mbappe at this stage of his career is very young. I don't think he would prefer going to with the status that he has now. He's easily one of the top five best players in the world currently. I could even narrow down to top three. But yes, with the status that he currently has, it looks very difficult for him. But we've seen crazy things in the past, and we know these things tend to happen. So you never know. This will happen. This may not happen. But my money is on that he will not go to Saudi Arabia club Al Hilal, and I think he'll wait for another year to go to Real Madrid. That's what his ambition is. That's what his aim is. Yeah, we'll wait. Have to wait and see what happens. There's been a lot of news noises actually coming out that he's been linked to Tottenham, linked to Chelsea, linked to United, linked to Arsenal. Not sure, whether he wants to go to those clubs. Of course, he's on for sale. PSG is looking for a buyer for Mbappe. So inquiries have been made, by different clubs, but that doesn't mean that PSG will sell him or Mbappe will sell him. will end up going there. Maybe a transfer fee, the clubs will agree, but to convince Mbappe, to go to United or Arsenal or Chelsea or Spurs, they will take, you know, huge push, from the respective managers and the board and the project, because Mbappe has his sight set, his vision set. He wants to go to Real Madrid. That's what his aim is. He wants to play for Real Madrid. That's his dream. He's always been talking about that. So, huge doubts whether he'll leave PSG this season. I think from what I believe, what I understand is if he goes to Real Madrid for free next year, he gets bonuses of 200 million. So I think he would want to cash on that, and he doesn't want to play in the Saudi Arabian league and playing and signing for a club like United, Chelsea. I'm not going to talk about Tottenham because that's rubbish. Yeah, signing like for a club like United and Chelsea, he'll have to enter into a huge contract, easily 5 years, and then you know
Hi, can you hear me? Because I cannot hear you, Divya. There is seemingly a disturbance. There is a disturbance and your voice is not audible. All I hear is a sound. Just hold on, sorry. What I hear. What I hear. What I hear. But your voice is not audible. And this is coming from your end. Just please just check your voice. I hope our viewers can hear me though. So hi Amshay. I believe even you would not be able to hear Divya, but Maybe you can hear me. I'm not sure. Uh, yeah, so okay. Divya has just gone out and he will just rejoin again. So, hi, MJ, how are you doing? I hope you're well. So, yeah, Divya was talking with regards to the transfer for Kylian Mbappe. Some crazy numbers out there with regards to his transfer. 700 million for 1 year, and they are going to pay about what 150 million to PSG to get his signature. And once that year is up, he can just join the Real Madrid for free. So there again, he can get the money. Now, from what I heard, Divya was saying that that a player of Mbappe's stature does not necessarily need to go for the money at this stage of his career, and that's true. But then again, career-wise, Mbappe has already won like the World Cup. So on an international level, he has actually won a lot. Uh, Hello, Divya.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now. There's no disturbance now. So welcome back.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, MC.
22
Yes.
year me watching 22-year-old earning 28 crore per month. क्या ही कर सकते हैं कुछ कर लाइफ में भाई.
आप आईआईटी आप आईआईटी भी नहीं कर पाए. सोचो, आईआईटी करने पे भी शायद इतना ना मिले हमें. यही है यही है जिंदगी.
Good.
MC, यही है जिंदगी. Anyway, so yeah, I was just telling our viewers, Divya, that with regards to the transfer for Kylian Mbappe, which you were also speaking about. So
Hmm.
you were of the opinion that he would not go to the Saudi league, right?
Correct. Correct. Hmm.
So can you please elaborate on that a little as to why that was? Because our viewers couldn't hear all of it.
Okay, so I was saying was the Saudi league. I'm not saying Saudi league is bad, but at this stage of his career, I think it would be a back step for him. It's very clear. His intentions are very clear. He wants to join Real Madrid. The noises that we're hearing about him joining, him being offered to Real Madrid, United, Chelsea, Tottenham for that matter. I think none of that is going to materialize because you sign for a club like United, Chelsea, you enter into a huge contract of 5 years, and then again there's a block again. You cannot leave these clubs after 2 or 3 years. They're not willing to sell you because I mean, Kylian Mbappe is now himself a brand. The same is for Saudi. I know they are offering just a 1 year contract, and after 1 year, he's free to leave uh, the Al Hilal club and go to Real Madrid. But I don't think, at this stage, at this age, when he's at his peak, when he's at his prime, he wants to play in the Saudi league. He wants to play in the top European clubs. Maybe at the beginning of this, if he doesn't leave PSG at the beginning of the season, PSG won't, play him. But at the end, we have a player of like Kylian Mbappe who can win the games, on his own. Why would you make him sit on the bench? So I think it's just PSG's way of pushing him out of the door, getting some money, getting some bucks. That's what I feel. Again, I'm not saying Saudi League is bad. The star that is attracted is Messi, and we're going to see a lot of
Some of them are
viewership this
not even
season
in their
because of.
peak. Sorry, some
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
them
I
are
know.
still in their peak. Yeah. So
Peak,
uh,
correct, correct. Mm.
yeah. So yeah, you are right with regards to that. And I mean, the only thing is that okay, एमशे का बेटा ला मासिया जाएगा. Okay, good point. उसके लिए आपको बार्सिलोना शिफ्ट होना पड़ेगा एमशे. एनीवे, बार्सिलोना के पास तो पैसे का थोड़ा तंगी है, तो फ्री में हो जाएगा, तो साइन हो जाएगा, तो उनके भी पैसे बच जाएंगे, सब सस्ते में हो जाएगा. अच्छा, डोंट for Prashant put lasers on gunpoint to vacate the stadium for this stream. Yeah, that's exactly how
PJ,
it
we
went.
get stadium. Yeah.
That's exactly what it. I sent.
Mm.
I called Don Green, and he sent his men to put them at gunpoint and make them an offer that they can't refuse. So here I am. Uh, yeah, so anyway, coming back to the point. So yes, Divya, I agree with you on basis of the career choices. At this stage, there is no reason for him to go to a club like Al Hilal. There
Mm.
is
Mm.
no motivation for him to go there apart from the money. If he is purely and
Correct.
purely, just going there for the money, then well and good. But here's the thing: I mean, this is just a hypothetical. If PSG do not, uh, I mean, Madrid being Madrid, they would know that next year they can get him for free. So they may not actually uh, bid for him with his current exit clause, right? Which is like 150 million or something. 150 million, right? 150 million is his clause.
Mm-hmm.
So they will not bid for him, right? Then over and above that, uh, PSG. I mean, I remember that Madrid had actually made a bid in one of the previous seasons, but that was only to show to PSG that we can bid for him. But right now, Madrid are
Mm-hmm.
smart. They are not going to bid 150 for him because they know that the moment that bid comes, PSG will just accept it because they are looking to sell the player. So, with
Mm,
that,
correct.
all of those things being said, going to Saudi may actually prove lucrative for everyone. It will be like PSG get the money, Kylian Mbappe also gets the money, 700 million years bucks for just a season. That's a crazy deal. And again, he is not unlike PSG. He is not being tied down to a long-term contract. That is just for one season. So that's actually a very. It's almost a too good to
Mm,
be true kind of an offer. But
mm,
uh, the more likely thing, the realistic thing will be that, as you said, uh, Mbappe is just going to he's just trying to extort more money out of PSG. I think that's the only thing that he's looking to do, and legally he has every right to do it. That is what he said. Okay, he all of these things are mentioned in the contract, and will PSG be willing to you know bench a player who is earning such huge bucks, a player who is
mhm,
basically now their main man. Now that Messi is gone, him and Neymar are the main stars of the team. And again, Neymar also
mm,
they're looking to sell him apparently. Nothing is
mm,
materializing on that front yet. So will they be willing to do all of that? So that is something that PSG will have to think about. On the other hand, even Mbappe himself,
mhm,
will he be how will the fans react to a player like him after all of this is being done? Like after all of these antics that he has been up to, will the fans accept him? I don't know because apparently the PSG ultras are already behind his back. They're already saying that we want him out. They were telling Lionel Messi to get out. So even for Mbappe, it's not a big deal to for them to just ask him to get out. So they won't bother.
mm.
So
Yeah.
the wise thing for Mbappe is to do is to actually leave. Whether he leaves under what circumstances, we don't know. But but the most likely possibility is that they just work out something and he remains at
Mhm,
PSG. Because that's how their relationship has been. It's been like a bad
mhm.
marriage, which in the end they just uh, patch up and hug. So that is probably what's gonna happen here, according to me. So
I
yeah,
think he shouldn't have extended his contract. Doing that was the biggest mistake. He should have left PSG for free. Real Madrid were offering him a very good contract. The joining bonus of around 100 million euros. So he could have got a lot of money that time. Staying at PSG, and there's a mess that has happened. And it's a bad business from PSG as well. All they wanted to do is get some money, and they ended up paying a lot of money to him as well. So I thought they could have invested better. They could have spent that money, the salary that they gave him. They could have used that money to
yeah.
buy some better players. It's bad business from PSG, and I
It's
think Real Madrid are smart
actually
enough to understand that. Hmm.
yeah. The thing is that yeah, in footballing terms, it's bad business, but in terms of the bigger picture, it was good business because uh, the Qatari state needed Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, all of these two PSG players while in the year
World
where
Cup was on.
the
Hmm.
World Cup is happening in Qatar. So on that front,
Hmm.
they succeeded. And imagine the fact that even Emmanuel Macron intervened.
Hmm.
Uh, right? He
Yeah, but
actually tried
but
to
then
speak to
they could have
Mbappe.
just given
Now
him
this
a.
will not happen. This year it will not happen. This year Macron will not
Hmm.
interfere. No one will interfere this year because now they don't actually need him to stay as badly as they did last season. So
Hmm.
last season it was more of a thing that it's very important PR wise that these players stay in PSG. So now as it ended up, Messi versus Mbappe, both PSG players were playing in the final of the World Cup. that is like something that they wanted. So
Hmm.
that is what they had in mind back then. But this year, there won't be any interferences from anyone else. Emin Mbappe stands for either for money or Madrid or mashallah. Probably money. Mbappe to Man U. Well, there have been rumors today that I've shared of uh, MShe that uh, Mbappe is that even Barcelona are looking to you know speak with Mbappe for a transfer, and I was like, भाई इनके पास वेयर खरीदने के पैसे हैं नहीं, इनको Mbappe चाहिए. So I don't know. He's being naturally being linked with everyone out there, but he will end up going to Real Madrid. That is his dream club. So that is what's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. So let's hope and see what happens. It's still a month and 10 days to go for the window to end. Yeah, moving on, from Mbappe. Moving on, United's interest in Rasmus Hojlund is becoming more and more concrete. Looks like this deal will happen. The finances of the deal are not yet known, but we know that Atlanta want around 65 to 70 million euros for Rasmus Hojlund. Now I don't have an idea whether that includes bonuses and add-ons or is that excluding bonuses and add-ons. So not sure whether that's a complete package or they want upfront money of 65 to 70 million euros. But again, mm, uh, my take on Rasmus Hojlund, fantastic striker, very young. Yeah, I know people will talk about him just scoring 10 goals, but yeah, if you look at his contribution, if you look at the overall play, especially look at his goals for Denmark, those two goals he scored in a game. One was, finish at the near post, and then that another header. Fantastic. He got that poacher instinct. His hold up play is good, and total involvement in the game is really good. Plus, he's very fast. He's out and out pacey. A lot of fans I could see on Twitter asking United to sign Evan Ferguson instead of Rasmus Hojlund. I like Evan Ferguson, but I think Rasmus Hojlund is a better player. Yes, there are some idiots who tell him who say that Rasmus Hojlund is just like Erling Haaland, which is not true. Yeah, he's got the pace of Erling Haaland. He's got that instinctive finish in him. But to compare him in Erling Haaland, it's not right because Erling Haaland has scored a lot, scored loads of goals. Not just in for City, for Dortmund, wherever he's gone, he's played and scored many goals. So it's not the right thing to do. But yes, I like Rasmus Hojlund and I'm convinced that he's going to be a huge success for United. Brilliant player, and the most important part is that manager wants him. Eric Ten Hag knows. See, if you look at his price, it's around 65 to 70 million. There are multiple strikers available in the market. I'm not talking about Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen. But I think Vlahovic, if we go and speak to Juventus, we can do the deal. I think Gonçalo Ramos will also be available around the same cost. But there's a reason why he wants Rasmus Holland. He has plans in place, and he's the first choice striker for Eric Ten Hag. So he's got Mount, he's got Onana. If he wants to sign these guys, Rasmus Holland or other players, so why not? What I've seen is looks very promising and can deliver. It's just that he needs to play more games, needs to have more game time. I think he'll develop that self confidence, and I think he has a huge, potential. And yeah, so I think this will happen. But yeah, and I like the player personally, and I think this is going to be a successful signing. Your thoughts on this, Vishal?
Well, I have seen very limited of Rasmus Hojlund myself, but again, by the sounds of it, see, statistically speaking, going purely by the stats, I think if it's someone Ten Hag wants, I think we can just let's just get him. That's the only thing I'll say
Yeah.
because Ten Hag, in terms of the players he has signed so far at United, he has been very good, right? Almost all of the players
Hmm.
he has signed have like they have been
Hmm.
successful, so they have proven important.
Hmm.
So no doubt
Yeah.
with regards to that. Uh, the other thing being, uh, yeah, I mean obviously I know for a fact that there will be a lot of news coming that
Hmm.
United couldn't get Haaland, so then now they have Hoyland, who is like just someone who
Mm.
sounds similar, but as a player, I think he will be successful. Uh, but again, from Atalanta through to United, it will be a big step up even for him. And
Yeah,
unlike Haaland, as you said, he is not a proven quantity as such. Like he has not scored insane amounts of goals. He has scored a good number of goals. So, but then again,
agree.
what
Mm.
Ten Hag wants is a system player. So as long
Mm.
as he fits well into the system, that is all.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah. So more of a system player, more of a signing that he wants, because he wants to play that certain style, certain way. And the biggest positive was getting a goalkeeper who could do that. And I'm really happy with this Andre Onana signing. And now I think we're on to Rasmus Hojlund. Yes, the transfer window will be complete. We can regard this transfer window as one of the best if we end up signing, you know, Sofian Amrabat, who is heavily linked to United, and sell some players. When I say some players, I think Elanga is already gone. Henderson is the next. I think Donny van de Beek and Fred will also be out of the way. So, if you look at the signings, 15 million for Elanga, 20 million for Henderson, that's 35 million. Another 15 for Donny, that's again 50 million. 15 for Fred, 65 million is what we get. And for 5 million for Alex Telles, that's 70 million. Now, I'm hearing that the Saudi Arabian club is offering 20 million for Eric Bailly. Now, I don't know how much that's true, but yeah, if that's true, then it's really good. We go and sell Eric Bailly to them. And then we have Maguire and McTominay. I'm not sure who is going to buy them, but yeah, if we end up selling all these players, getting Sofian Amrabat and a backup centre back, I think that's a perfect 10 on 10 window for United, which it looks very unlikely because we are really poor. We are really pathetic at selling players. So I don't think we will extract that kind of money which we are hoping. But yeah, positive framework. And I think some of them will get around 60, 70 million. But selling Maguire, McTominay is going to be a difficult thing. Maybe McTominay will go to a Newcastle or West Ham, but Harry Maguire, I don't think so. He will be sold because of the wage demands that he has. He's been huge wage, and I don't think a club like Chelsea or Tottenham will want to buy Maguire. So the only option is either a club like Everton or a West Ham United get him. But again, his current wage is very very high. I don't think they can offer it. यार ये
Okay.
इलेक्ट्रिक कार रिचार्ज का कितना खर्चा आता है? There is no खर्चा of electric car recharge, bro. It's you when you buy electric cars. So let's say if you have bought Tata Nexon, so the Tata guys will come to your house and install the charging, station when you're parking. So you can use it anytime you want. There's no cost for
Why is he asking us this? Any reason? Like why? मतलब ये कहाँ से मतलब लिंक क्या है? कहाँ से
क्या मालूम
आया
क्यों
कहाँ से?
क्यों क्यों पूछ रहा है उसको इलेक्ट्रिक कार चार्ज का खर्चे कितना आता है क्या मालूम आई डोंट नो बट या खर्चा आता नहीं
अच्छा
सब कुछ
मतलब जैसे मोबाइल चार्ज करते हैं वैसे ही चार्ज करना रहता है और कुछ नहीं
हाँ बस बस
है ना
बस बस
बस हाँ ठीक है चलो
बिल्कुल
ये लाइक वेरी द बिगेस्ट टेक अवे फ्रॉम टुडेज वीडियो कि इसका कोई खर्चा नहीं आता या लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक
yes
दिव्या
yeah so yeah asking for Laporta
अच्छा
गरीब आदमी है गरीब कर्ज का
गरीब
गरीब
आदमी
आदमी
हाँ
हाँ
ठीक है इसलिए नहीं
Yeah,
सच बात
moving on to the next and the last part, is about Harry Kane is up for sale. A lot of good UK journalists, when I say good, which means they're both reliable, they have information from the inside the club, have stated that Harry Kane is for sale. Of course, Daniel Levy doesn't want to let him go, but the club owner has instructed Daniel Levy to sell him and they would not want to waste 100 million is what they're going to get this season. They don't want to let him go for free next year. So I think I think Harry Kane will go to a different club. I'm not sure which one, but I think it will happen towards the end of the window. It'll be more like, if you remember, Prashant, Gareth Bale, when he signed for Real Madrid, the entire saga continued for the entire window, and towards the end of the window, you know, Madrid ended up signing Gareth Bale. So I think it'll happen that sort. We'll go to Bayern Munich, is most likely destination. United, I don't think can afford him if they buy Rasmus Hojlund. I think now United have made up their mind. It's going to be Rasmus Hojlund. And then if you spend 70 million for Hojlund, 55 for Mount, and then another 45 for Onana, I don't think you have 100 million left for Harry Kane. Again, not that I don't like Harry Kane, if you get Harry Kane, you get instant results. We may be title contenders if you get Harry Kane next season. So that's how critical a player
Big
Harry
of
Kane is.
a player he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not just a goal scorer. He creates a lot of. If you look at his gameplay at Tottenham, his hold up play is fantastic. His passing range is fantastic. He can play as a
He can play as a.
sorry, some network issue. Yeah, but I said he can play as a deep lying forward. He can play as a front number nine. So he can play different roles. So
I can see you. Please continue.
I think, yeah, sorry, some network issue. Okay. Yeah, so he can play different roles up front. He can play deep lying forward. He can play as a out and out striker. So, yeah, overall contribution in the game is fantastic. He's not just a goal scorer. He can create. So, I think Harry Kane, wherever he goes, he's going to be a lot effective. He's going to make them any team title contenders. So, I think, again, I would love Harry Kane at United, but I don't think that is practically possible now that we are going to get Rasmus Hojlund. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't think United will go for him now. Besides, anyway, Daniel Levy is a very hard person to deal with, particularly on Kane to join United. Although it depends a lot on Harry Kane himself if he does want to join United. Because if he does
Hmm.
that, then obviously, uh, if he wants to come, he might actually, end up doing something for that. Now, I remember he was so close to joining Man City, he didn't join in the end, and he ended up
Hmm.
signing this long, really long contract, which he's kind of regretting, I'm sure. So that's
Correct.
one thing. The other thing being Bayern Munich, obviously, being there will mean that at least, although they have been fairly mediocre in the past two seasons, but
Hmm.
Bayern Munich themselves, in general, they are regulars in the Champions League, right? So he can expect himself to at least maybe go to reach up to the
Hmm.
quarters or the semis of the Champions League. So that is something that they have been doing regularly. So that is what he can at least look forward to. And obviously, a league title there is pretty much guaranteed. So that would be one thing that would be an interest of.
Yeah. He could even get them to win Champions League. He's that kind of an
Can, yeah.
impact player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They've got a
That's what
good
he will do.
manager in Thomas Tuchel.
So you will be able to utilize him well. And obviously, what Bayern are looking to do is they are looking to offload Sadio Mane, Leroy Sané players.
Hmm.
So, uh, yeah. So, Harry Kane he will be like the focal point of the team once he does
Correct.
go there. So that is quite an attractive chance for him still, despite the fact that it won't exactly be in the Premier League.
Hmm. We can agree on that. Again, brilliant player. And I think Bayern Munich looks like the more likely destination, 100 million. Again, not saying that United shouldn't go for him, but it's going to be very difficult. Plus, we don't have the funds now. Even if we backtrack from the Rasmus Holland deal, we don't sign him. I don't think Tottenham will let him go to United. Selling him to an English rival. Direct. I, I I'm not sure how does even Daniel Levy consider clubs like United, Chelsea, Liverpool, rivals. They are not rivals. Tottenham is Tottenham has not won a major trophy for a very very long time. In fact, I don't think they've even won a
Exactly.
single trophy. Yeah, so I don't think what is the problem here. It's not that they're going to keep him and win trophies. They're not going to do that. It's not they're not going to win trophy They couldn't win trophy under Conte. So what makes them think that they can win trophy under Postecoglou? So this uh, way of intimidating other clubs, uh, someday it's going to backfire on Daniel Levy because he would want Premier League players at his club. So again, I think we should let Harry Kane leave. I think 80, 100 million any club will offer. Chelsea, if United, if this was the situation a couple of months back, United would have focused on getting Harry Kane. They would have not gone for Rasmus Hojlund. Similarly, Chelsea, a club like Chelsea wants number nine. Chelsea would have gone for him. But they all know that it's very difficult to negotiate with someone like Daniel Levi, who is going to be very stringent, very strict, and very hard to negotiate when it comes to selling to an English club, his top player. Okay, so let's see. Again, a deal that will go towards the end of the window. I think Harry Kane will definitely do this season, this window, but this will not happen so quickly. It's not going to happen so immediately. It will take till the end of the window to complete the deal. So, yeah, let's wait. We're here to wait and see. Another month and 10 days to go for the window to close. Let's see where Harry Kane and Mbappe end up going.
Yeah, it will be an interesting saga for sure. It's also interesting that these two
Hmm.
players are going to be out on the market. They will be available, and it's been some time that something like this has happened, right? Like it's not every day
Hmm.
now that we are going to be able to see it. Like in the
Hmm.
previous windows, we have had free transfers, like uh, Robert Lewandowski last season, and of course the Ronaldo transfer. So that has been the
Hmm.
only one that we have had. Apart from that, we have not had much. So
Hmm.
it's good that we have such interesting sagas to keep track of. Uh, like apart from that, I don't think that there is any other major player who's available. Right? Any other player you can think of?
If you're asking for a strike, in what positions? There are many strikers available. There are dominant strikers. You've got Jonathan David available for 45 million. And you've got Gonçalo Ramos available. I'm not sure what the exact cost is. Then you've got Victor Osimhen, but that's practically impossible because again, De Laurentiis is the Italian version of Daniel Levi. So he's asking for 170 million for Victor Osimhen, which is not practical, not possible. And from what I'm hearing is Victor Osimhen, is going to sign a new contract. So if Victor Osimhen signs a new contract with Napoli, it's game over for him. It's going to be another replica of Koulibaly. They're not going to let him go. No, they will not allow him to leave Napoli. And then when he's past his prime, they'll sell him to a club, and get some 30, 40 million. Exactly what happened to Koulibaly. He wanted to go and leave Napoli in his prime, but they convinced him. They never let him leave, and then at the age of 31, they sold him to Chelsea for 40 million, and he isn't the same player that he was a few years back. So again, it's up to Victor Osimhen. If he signs that new contract, that's game over. I don't think a club will pay that kind of money. That's very huge, unrealistic what Napoli is asking. So let's see what happens. Now, Prashant, before we wind this up, a couple of things I want to talk in regards to United. I was speaking about this earlier. Do you think Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay will leave United this window?
Harry Maguire for sure. He looks very very
Why are you
likely.
laughing, man? Why are you smiling? Why are you smiling? I'm asking you a genuine question, and you're smiling.
Yeah, well, there have been so many memes about this, right? About Maguire in
Yeah.
particular. It looks very likely that he will leave. But,
Hmm.
and I did read a few articles linking him to West Ham and some other clubs. But
Hmm.
obviously, on the ground, we have not heard anything concrete. Uh,
Hmm.
and Scott McTominay, anyway, he's not like that much of a big player anyway. I think if United can get 20 million for him, that'll be a decent deal. I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
So hopefully that is where it goes.
Yeah, I think see, maybe Maguire is a loss, but if you look at McTominay, he's a academy player. So whatever we get for him is always going to add up as profit for us, and a player that very who will be easy to sell, because he's not on huge wages. I think he's one of the players who earns the most least among all the players that we have united. So, someone to very easy to sell, and clubs, mid-table clubs like West Ham, Crystal Palace, in fact even Newcastle were interested in him. So I
Yeah,
think you can find a suitable buyer for McTominay, but the problem is that United need to get someone in the defensive midfield lineup. So we've only got Casemiro right now who can play. Again, McTominay is not an out-and-out DM, but he is only one of the midfielders apart from Casemiro who can play in that position. So that's why I think Eric Ten Hag is reluctant to sell him. But yes, if we are able to get Sofyan Amrabat, brilliant player. Have you seen Sofyan Amrabat play in the World Cup, Prashant?
yes, yes, he was very effective for Morocco.
Brilliant player. He's got
He
full
was
of
brilliant, and
energy. He's very
yeah,
intelligent, press resistant. His tackling is fantastic, and he can play as a six. He can play as an eight. He's a ball progressor as well. So
yeah,
brilliant player. It would be a very good signing if United end up getting Sofyan Amrabat. Are available for around 30 to 40 million euros. But if United negotiate well, they could get him for 30 million and then sell McTominay for 20-25 million. So again, I hope we once we sign Rasmus Hojlund, we focus on the uh, you know Sofyan Amrabat deal. And to be honest, if we don't even buy a centre back and we get Sofyan Amrabat, I'll consider it a good window because you know selling Harry Maguire it is very unlikely. The way his salary is and the way his wages are, and it's going to be very difficult to find a club for him, suitable buyer for him. So maybe next year, if Maguire doesn't get any chance this season, he hardly gets any game time. See, because if Maguire doesn't move to a different club unless he comes up with a staggering performance, breathtaking, mind-blowing performance when he gets his opportunity, I don't think there's a place for him because Varane and Martinez are going to be starting centre backs. I think to be honest, if you look at it, he's fifth choice centre back because it's Varane Martinez first choice centre back, then it's Lindelof third choice, and then you've got Luke Shaw who played ahead of him. If you remember when players came back from the World Cup, he was
yeah. Luke
available,
Shaw
but
was playing
Ten
center
Hag
back.
opt, yeah, Ten Hag opted to play Luke Shaw as centre back. So again, he's literally fifth choice centre back. So if he doesn't, the problem is the problem for him is if he doesn't play, Southgate won't play him in the World Cup sorry, in the Euros, upcoming Euros, because he will lose his place. If you look at the Chelsea centre back, the young centre back for Chelsea, he's a left-footed centre back, and that's what Maguire's position is in the England national team. A left-foot centre back who's playing regularly, who's young, who's impressive. I think he'll replace Maguire if Maguire doesn't get game time. So for his own sake, he needs to go. Again, I'm not saying that we should push him out of the door, but again, for his own sake, if he needs to play in the England national team, he needs to have some game time. At United, I don't think he will get that kind of game time. But again, he's been putting a lot of efforts. You could see in the training sessions that he had in Portugal, along with Ricardo Carvalho. So maybe that it changes the way he plays. But again, very difficult, to see that happen. And one player that will be very difficult to sell along with Anthony Martial. So Anthony Martial and Maguire, I think Eric Ten Hag and the club want to get them offloaded, but I think these two will stay on. Um, don't you think so? And do you think there's any chance we end up selling Martial and Maguire or Maguire?
Uh, okay, now that you put Marshall into the mix, I think it becomes the whole conversation changes, right? Because Marshall is like he was supposed to be this golden ball winner, if you
Hmm.
remember, Ballon d'Or winner. Sorry, not golden ball winner, Ballon d'Or winner. That
No,
is
he was
literally,
not. Ballon d'Or, no.
yeah. So that was a clause in his contract. Basically,
Oh,
if
okay.
he
Yeah,
wins
yeah,
that,
that I
yeah,
know. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So,
Imagine
yeah,
what a fall
supposed
from
to.
grace
Supposed to,
has
yeah, supposed to.
supposed to.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah. Sorry, sorry. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So obviously, uh, that is like something that United want to now just get rid of because there's no chance that he's getting uh, the Ballon d'Or anytime soon. And
Hmm.
at the same time, while United would be happy that they do not have to pay that particular fee, they would, if that does happen, they would prefer that this journey of his takes place of some other club now. Because at United, we have given
Hmm.
him enough chances. He has been here for like 6 years now, not really
Hmm.
worked out very well for either of us. I mean, he has shown glimpses every now and then again, he has just faded. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember his debut against Liverpool. He
Yeah, that
scored a
goal is
brace.
good.
Yeah, I believe he
Not
scored
a
a brace.
brace, not brace. No,
Brace.
no,
He
no.
scored one.
He
He scored a one
one
goal
one.
for
Yeah,
sure.
he came as a
Yeah,
substitute and he
yeah,
dribbled past three players and put the ball back in the net. Yeah.
yeah. So that was like quite a debut, but yeah, unfortunately, he has faded into what. Hopefully, we can. I guess we will only be getting 15 to 20 minutes for him as well. So
Oh, I
not
think if
much,
we
but
get that, that's too much. If we
really,
end up getting that, he's got a huge wage. He's earning more salary than Harry Maguire. 250 grand a week is what Martial's earning. So I don't think any club will end up paying that money
yeah. So then
unless
maybe we
Martial
can
becomes
just sell him for
ambitious. Yeah.
5 million. Yeah. So maybe then we'll just sell him for 5 million or
Ideally,
something
we
like that.
should ideally we should tear up that contract, pay him the
Yeah.
terminate his contract, pay him the money, and let him go because it's pointless, keeping him in the club, getting more
Yeah,
and more
but then
negativity.
the only thing is,
Yeah.
yeah, then the only thing is that we can't really trim the squad that much because the Glazers know that if you sell these many players, you have to also get replacements for them. So
I
uh,
know.
we should not end up having such a trimmed squad. Like that is something which we suffered for last season. I hope that it doesn't happen again this season. Yeah, Anthony Partial. That's
पार्शियल भी
exactly
नहीं खेलता भाई वो पार्शियल भी
how
नहीं
they
खेलता है वो
how why partially
या
injured.
अगेन टैलेंट तो भाई बहुत ही सुपर बढ़िया है मैन फैंटास्टिक टैलेंट the ability is there but it never transformed into consistent performances plus injuries troubled him a lot again you know I don't know what to say. In the past 3 years, he's been injured so much. He's hardly got any game time. So by default, you would lose confidence in yourself, and it's bound to happen. More game time, more confidence you gain. And Marshall's hardly had any game time in the last 3 years. His loan move to Seville also failed. He went there and got injured, and half the time was not available. So another, club where he couldn't, convert and he couldn't produce the kind of performance that he was expecting to do. Again, like I said, the more you play, the more confidence you get. I think Marshall is lacking a lot of confidence. So I think he'll end up staying at the club. Let's see what happens in the next season, whether he'll be able to contribute, he'll be able. What my expectation is if he ends up staying at the club, at least he needs to start or play 15 to 20 games, at least 15 to 20 games, and focus on remaining fit, not scoring goals, not, getting going past players. Right now, the focus for Marshall should be staying fit and playing more and more games. That's what will get him more confidence.
Yeah, agree. I don't think that he will be sold simply because we cannot trim our squad that much. But
Hmm.
because let's say we
Correct.
get President as Hojlund, then we will have an alternative like Martial as a backup, and so we will have enough players to play in the front three. I mean, as of now, so we would have Rashford, we will have uh, Joe, so we will have some options there. So
Hmm.
hopefully, at least we don't have end up being short on players. That is one thing.
Correct. Correct. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Prashant will come to the end of this video. Good talk. Good talk for almost like 1 hour. But yeah, transfer window as this transfer window goes on, we will see some surprises. We will see some shocks, and I hope you know there are a lot of activities in this transfer window. A lot of players get signed, and I think for some clubs this window is going to be very important. For a club like Chelsea, it's very important to settle down and get into top four. For a club like United, it's very important to sign players and bridge the gap between themselves and City. You know, and for clubs like Juventus and Inter Milan, so it's time to develop the squad. It's time to make themselves better. Inter Milan has a very good team. I think they can win the Serie A. They did some mistakes last season. They can recover from that. Use the money that they've got from Onana and other players. and sign some decent strikers or midfielders. If they're going to sell a lot of players. Same for AC Milan. Italian clubs selling a lot of players. So with that money, they can use to buy some young players who can make an impact. So again, very important window for a lot of clubs. Let's see what happens, and we'll soon join you in this week for another round of transfer rumors. MShay says bye guys. Bye guys. Yes, yes, bye bye MShay. Good night to all of
I'm
you,
sure.
and we'll see you very soon. Subscribe to our channel, bottom right hand corner. Smash like on the video. Bye for now.